Well, okay. I don't know if Mikey is still here, but we have the man himself. We have Gut. Gut is just absolutely bonkers. Yes, he fits everywhere. Like if you're playing any kind of proactive game plan, it's just so good. So what this card does, basically it turns your stuff into 4/1 attacking menace tokens or an artifact. But yeah, I mean creature primarily because if you have like a 2-drop or whatever, then you get to go off on as soon as turn 3 without any acceleration or whatever. So yeah. Okay. Well, now what? So there's Avenger of Zendikar, which killed me in round 1, but there's also Sunfall. I think Sunfall is fairly likely to be a power outlier. It's not only a Wrath at 5 mana, and I don't think there are a ton of those, but it's also something that exiles. It leaves you with some board presence because it leaves you with an Incubate token, which you can also like sack to gut or whatever. But I think this makes sense over Avenger. It's cheaper. I think it's harder to pick up this kind of thing. Whereas Avenger, I'm not going to say it's a dime a dozen, but I think there are multiple kind of crazy landfall payoffs like Avenger. Avenger is so nutty in a cube with doubled fetches without power and that kind of thing. Like Avenger has to be, I mean, it's like Ob Nixilis, right? It's just at its peak here, I think. What are your Anthem options in this cube? Any chance of drafting creatures you control get? Interesting. So what do we want to do in this pack? I'll try to figure out what I'm going to take first, and then I'll try to answer your question. Where is Bad River? Are you talking about the blue-black Mirage fetch land? Because that's what comes to mind. I think I need to take Ultimate Price here. I don't want to force too much. I think you absolutely could take Ogre Headhelm, and actually it might be correct. Do I just want to take this? Like I already have Gut. It's such a strong pull into red. Oh yeah, I guess the Mirage fetches would be cute here, but I don't know. I think they wouldn't exactly make sense. Rosie is interesting, but I think Ogre, like specifically being a red card and being a 2-drop, is just like doing exactly what I'm trying to do if I'm trying to play a deck with Gut. I think as good as Ultimate Price is, I think I have to let Gut influence me. I don't think I can just seem to be getting handed green. I don't think there's anything super exciting in green in that pack, but maybe I was mistaken. I don't know. Okay, well, Staff of the Storyteller. We cast it 0 times in the last draft. Maybe now is the time. Staff does draw cards with Gut, which is pretty good. There's also Unctus, which I do think is strong, but I already have a white card. I could just be playing Boros decks the whole time. I have to read Unctus because the abilities are kind of complicated. Okay, blue creatures, and you can make target creature becomes blue and an artifact. So there's your Anthem Holden in terms of pumping artifacts. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would rather just take Staff and try to be a proactive deck. Maybe this is wrong. Maybe wield a Ether Grid or something. We'll see. But this is like multiple game objects. It works with Gut, the whole deal. Yeah, Mondrak could be nice. This is already a tough one because now we have Ossification and we have Brea's Apprentice. And Brea's Apprentice was fantastic for us. On the other hand, we saw exactly what happens when you can't remove creatures with high toughness, right? We just died to the 6/6, and we died to the 5/5 and stuff, and we just had all our like 2 damage removal. So it's like, do we want a great card for our deck? I guess we do have Sunfall as a way to answer the bigger stuff. And we could still potentially not play white. We could play Rakdos. I think that's the, like, if I'm not playing Boros here, I think I do want to play Rakdos. Removal later. I don't know. I hate passing removal. I guess we're just going to draft the same deck. Now there's Showdown, which we didn't wheel last time. Crowbar. So another thing about Apprentice and Crowbar is they both work with Staff too. And I think, yeah, I mean, we can just draft the same deck. Like somebody, I don't know if you all took a look at the leaderboard, but this person has twice as many trophies as the person in second place. Like they must be doing something pretty repetitive, right? Like, yeah, and Crowbar is very strong. Like Acidic Slime. I never thought that I would be so excited about Acidic Slime, but Acidic Slime is great in this cube because blowing up lands is awesome. Yeah, so I think we'll take Crowbar. If we don't wheel Showdown, that's okay. It's another 2-drop. Oh, okay. Now we'll just take Crater Maker. I love Crater Maker in this kind of thing because it's an interactive card and it's a 2-drop. Legionnaire is very strong. It's, of course, a more aggressive card. But Crater Maker just does exactly what I want to do. And yeah, we're just drafting the same deck. Hopefully we've, found the error of our ways. We started Gut into Sunfall, which has to be stronger than starting 2 Sultai fetch lands in a row last time. And yeah. Okay, well, here's an interesting one. We have Blast Zone, which I don't think is great. Batter Fist, which I think is fine. Mouser, which I don't think is spectacular. There's Swift Reconfiguration, which is removal, but it's not very good removal. I kind of want to take the Batter Fist. I'm pretty skeptical of something like Mouser. The one thing is, like, if the opponent just has, like, a fat creature, then this can work. But I think the chances of them having a fat creature that doesn't have strong abilities doesn't seem super likely to me, so I think it's okay to do this. Okay, here we go. So now we have Touch the Spirit Realm versus Royal Eruption. Royal Eruption would be very nice. I think I absolutely have to take Touch the Spirit Realm after how the last draft went. 3 damage to any target's definitely good, but the most important thing, or the Chaos Crafter, that is my title on Twitter right now. I haven't changed it for a bit. What was I going to say? Like a classic thing about aggro decks versus control decks, I think we take Pillage here. I'm a skeptic of Arcbound Prototype after the last draft. Like, I think we're already good on 2-drops. We only have 2 actual artifact creatures, and Pillage, I think, could easily be a nice sideboard card for us. Blowing up lands, too, could be quite relevant. There's a chance it's even main deckable. Currency Converter. There's also Amiria's Call. I think I want to take the Converter. I'm not sure how likely I am to want to play this, but I don't think the call is going to matter. Oh, but yeah, the aggro decks versus control decks thing in terms of removal. So control decks want cheap removal to answer small creatures so they don't get run over. Aggro decks want removal it doesn't have to be more expensive, but at least more versatile, so they can deal with like the blockers that control decks are using to try to stabilize and get back into the game. I don't know. We'll take this, I guess. I don't want to take the red card. Okay, we're not really wheeling anything spectacular, which is not ideal. I think it's okay to take the Geist. We're very much in Boros. I don't think we're going to pivot unless something bizarre happens. We can take the Elf. Okay, so thinking about last draft, something we're really going to want is fixing. So I think it makes a lot of sense to take Wooded Foothills at this point and try to get fixing for our deck. Just see if we can find a card that's both a mountain and a plains, so we can fetch it up and have our mana function a little more consistently. Pia and Kieran, quite good. Seal of Cleansing would be pretty interesting. Ingenious Smith, I think, is the pick, possibly over Pia and Kieran. That's pretty tough, though, I think. I'm glad I get to not worry about that by just taking a land here. And an Arid Mesa, which is pretty much the same thing, but better. Yeah, Kenrith, you're not allowed to read that guy, I guess. It is unfortunate. Arid Mesa is very nice because even if we don't find a fetchable duel, it's still going to fix our mana. Legion's Landing and Unholy Heat and Pyrite Spellbomb would all be interesting for us in the wheel. Ash Barrens would possibly be playable depending on how our mana ends up looking. Angel of Invention. There's also Maul of the Skyclaves. So, and there's a second Arid Mesa. I forgot that fetches were doubled for a second. My brain glitched. So I think I need to take the Arid Mesa. Yeah. I don't know. I think there's a strike against Ingenious Smith because of what happened the last time, or in the last draft, where the one time I casted it whiffed. I think I have to put that on my abacus against the Ingenious Smith, but Maul of the Skyclaves would be a really nice aggressive card. Angel of Invention is a powerful magic card, does make artifacts and that kind of thing, but the Sword. The Sword is a slower card. I have way more artifacts. That's good to know. yeah, I'm not really paying attention to like what I already have very much, which is maybe bad. Okay, and then here's a tough one. So I could take Flooded Strand, but at this point I actually think Flooded Strand is not looking as appealing, because I already am missing a dual land to turn my Wooded Foothills into like actual mana fixing. So if I miss a dual land for the Flooded Strand, it just kind of hurts twice as badly. So I think I'm okay to take Steel Seraph, which was a very good card for me previously. Yeah, Ember Cleave also very good, but I don't know. I just love the way Seraph. Yeah, I love the way Seraph functions like independently. Like it just doesn't ask very much of you. It just asks you to have 3 mana, whereas Ember Cleave kind of asks for you to have a lot go right, I think. Okay, there's a Bivouac, but there's also a Glider, and Iganjo is tempting too. Glider was very good for me last time, but I also had Stoneforge plus Pure Steel. Also, I never did particularly powerful things with either of them, which is kind of weird. I just had weird matches last time. But I think we can continue taking fixing here with the Bivouac. This is also a pretty good creature land. Like, it's a powerful, aggressive card. It's going to make our deck better no matter what. I think that Iganjo might be actually... I updated my avatar. That's right, Wacky. That's correct. I've been looking for ways to spice up the appearance. So the old prophetic flame speaker avatar. We'll see if that one works. But I think Iganjo might actually be the pick after the Bivouac there, which is weird. Okay, and now I have to think about Cathar Commando versus Steel Overseer versus Elder Dragon War. I think it's going to be Cathar Commando. It says I have 5 creatures. Keep in mind that Crowbar is also basically a creature and Batterfist is also basically a creature. But I think it's fine to take Commando. It does hit pretty hard. As a card with Flash, it's nice and flexible. Yeah. Elder Dragon War could be a good wheel for us. We don't really have... How many artifact creatures do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 3.5, I guess, with the token from the Apprentice. So Steel Overseer isn't doing anything crazy for us. Just going to draft Boros decks. Yeah, there's a decent chance it wheels for sure. And I don't even know if we'd play it if it did. Okay, Blade Splicer, perfect. Combustible Gearhulk, simply too expensive. Evolving Wilds, I think we can do better than that in terms of fixing. I also don't think our mana's in a rough enough spot where we would need the Evolving Wilds. Also, we now have... Hey! Oh, let's see. Catching first draft of the cube and possibly your last. Yeah, this is the second draft I've done on today's stream. Good to see you, by the way, Cultic Cube. The last deck was also Boros. Started off 0-1, which was not ideal, but did finish 2-1, and we're back at it. I've learned nothing. I'm drafting Boros again. Have actually, I hope I've learned something at least. I want to take Quarantine Field here, I think. It's funny because Tribal Flames, like in this cube specifically, I think can be much better than just like a sorcery speed. Oh yeah, gotcha. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I might do another one after this. I don't really need to be up early tomorrow for anything, so yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that makes more sense. Thank you for the explanation. Okay, and we do wield the Ingenious Smith. I think we don't need to take Seal of Cleansing now that we have Commando. We also have the Crowbar. I really need to sort this stuff a little better, but 3 trophies in 5 drafts. Nicely done, Mikey. Okay, so do we want to look for artifacts through our deck here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe. Our artifact count is a little bit low for the Smith, but I still think it's good enough, hopefully. And I think we can take Legion's Landing over Ash Barrens. This card was mostly reasonable for us in the last draft too. It's another random game object for Gut. Now we have Angel of Invention. I think I have to take that over the Banneret. It's probably a good sign for us that this wheeled. I don't know if I want to main deck Quarantine Fields. My gut says no. Haha, gut. Transmogrant, I don't think is happening. Signal Pest, I don't think I go wide enough for that, so I guess I take like a 3-3 here, which maybe matters some of the time. The correct pick might be Crown if I pick up like exactly Stoneforge. Oh, nice, Iganjo. Hooray! And we'll take Euphemia because it's one color. And bind the monster. Okay, so if we could pick up a dual land for the Wooded Foothills, that'd be great. If not, then that's okay. Signal Pest seems better. Yeah, it might have been, for sure. There's a Jetmir's Garden now, which I can trick my opponents into thinking that I have green mana for something in my deck. Or I can just take like a Rabbit Battery or a Halberd. Yeah, I don't know either. This land is interesting too. So yeah, I could take the Rabbit Battery, right? Like it's a very strong 1-drop. It works nicely with pretty much all of my cards. It's even good with like Gut, just like being like a random card with haste. Maybe after like a Sunfall or something, it could be nice. I don't think I should wield a Garden, but I also don't think I'm hurting for fixing. Like I already have double Arid Mesa Bivouac, and Jetmir's Garden is not premier fixing for us because it does enter tapped. So let's take the battery. There is a Scrubland. It doesn't really do a ton for us. There's also a Welder. Scrap Trawler I don't think we're really leveraging, and Untethered Express seems like it's on the slow side. I guess I'm probably supposed to take Welder. Let's see. Wheel the other options. Yeah, the Iganjo wheel was really nice. Yeah, so you would probably... Gotcha. Yeah, probably wheels. Yeah, that makes sense. Dig Site is outstanding. I do think Dig Site's very good. The question is just like, do I have enough cheap artifacts? I guess we can try it. I'm not really doing anything crazy with Welder in this deck, I don't think. And I do think Dig Site's very powerful. Specifically, Rabbit Battery is a nice one. And if we play the Currency Converter, then that's another cheap artifact. I think it's okay to do this, but I could imagine Welder being better. Yeah. Oh, I do love Bankbuster. There's also Scrapwork Mutt, Sandwell. I think Bankbuster is going to be the pick a lot of the time here. Yeah, Untethered Express is a throwback for sure. I just had it actually in some flashback drafts, and it was very good to me there. Choo Choo, yeah. Let's see. So what do we want to do here? I could just take this Bankbuster. Does it really make sense to take the other cards? I don't think so. Like, decent chance I'll wheel something else anyway. I don't really need another Wrath. I'm not sure exactly how good I am at Delirium. Probably decent. Sandwell really wants its vehicles. Yeah. Finally got your PC up and running. Nice to hear that, Randy Deluxe. Good to see you, by the way. I think it's been a while. Yeah, artifact count too. Definitely matters. Okay, well, there's a Pure Steel Paladin, but I think I might actually take a Fire Prophecy. It's starting to feel like I'm on the lower end of interaction. I also don't think I have very many equipments for Paladin, so it's kind of Passage versus Prophecy. And again, I'm not sure about the tap lands. So yeah, let's quickly... well, I guess I do have Battery, Ogrehead, Crowbar, Batterfist, so I do actually have more equipments than I thought I did. What would I name with Metallic Mimic? I don't know, like Construct or something maybe. I'm not going to try to figure that out. That's going to be too complicated. Maybe these are both like humans, right? This and the Blade Splicer, but that doesn't seem great. I guess Ingenious Smith, Dig Site's an Artificer. Maybe Artificer is the better name. But we'll take an interactive card. This one's pretty close. I think you can make an argument for not doing this. There's another Fabled Passage and a Torch the Tower and History of Benalia. Do like all of those cards. I like Spikefield Hazard, but I don't think I'm allowed to take it here. Since I just picked up some interaction, I don't need Torch the Tower as much. I still don't know if that means I want to pick up a Fabled Passage. Crazy fixing. I think I'm just going to take more interaction. I might not main deck this. I started with this. Oh yeah, there's a Battlethopter in the pack. My eyes glazed over that one. But I started with Torch in my sideboard in the last deck because I had Galvanic Blast and Burst Lightning, and I ended up wanting the Torch in like 2 of the matches. So, okay, Stone Coil. I do love Stone Coil. There's also a Reinforced Ronin. There's some sick synergies with this card. There's like the What about my late game plan? My late game plan is hopefully draw my removal that answers big threats, my white removal spells, and maybe even leave one of them in the sideboard if I'm feeling crazy. Like, I think Angel of Invention might not even make this deck. Dig Site Ronin, that's true. That's a nice one. I feel like there's a reasonable chance Ronin wheels. And I think Serpent does something that not very many cards do. Like, it's always going to pass the vanilla test. That's true. The plan is always gut. The plan never stopped being gut. Ronin could be a better option, but I think Serpent makes a lot of sense. It's just like a reach guy. I don't think we need to take Play with Fire. I think we can take... Yes, gut is good. There's a joke I made about turning the U... I don't know if it's called like an umlaut or whatever, but whatever that accent is over the U where it's like 2 dots, and then it makes like the oo sound. So then you're... Yeah, anyway, whatever. But we'll take Thraben Inspector here, this time over Play with Fire. It's a cheap card, affects the board, makes an artifact. We already have our one shock-ish variant, so I think it's fine to do this, hopefully. Spirited Companion. I do like that card a lot. It's also Bloodforged Battle Axe. This guy equips for 2. It's a cheap artifact for the Dig Site, which does have some value. Gut in German doesn't have an umlaut. Well, I don't know anything about German, sorry. I barely know what an umlaut is. I need to... let's see. Yeah, it is 2 game objects for the gut, absolutely. But then the Battle Axe is potentially more, right? I will take the Companion. This could be a mistake. I think that one's pretty close. I can now take the land here. Now we have like Halberd versus the land. It's awkward because this is going to be a tap land a lot of the time, but I'm not even sure Halberd would make my deck. We don't really have any equipment synergies. It's just kind of another artifact and like 2 game objects for like gut. So I guess we can take the land, try that one out. Now we get the Welder back, so I think I'm obligated to try this. I don't have any sick combos with the Welder, which is unfortunate. Fire Prophecy, notably, does not rummage, puts a card to the bottom of the library, which means I'm not dumping my Steel Seraph into play or whatever with the Welder, but we'll stake it. We'll still take it here, I think. Automaton, so this is the card whose name I was forgetting. That's one of the combos with the, whatever you call it, the Reinforced Ronin. Sanwell, vehicle or artifact creature. I think I'll take the Automaton, but this could be a mistake. There's the Pure Steel Paladin, which I say after I've already passed the other equipment on the wheel, and I'm like, oh, I don't have a ton of equipment synergies. Looks like the Wooded Foothills is not going to make the deck, by the way. Oh, and History of Benalia. It's a good card. So potentially punished for passing the Jetmir's Garden. I'm not too concerned about that, I don't think. I really want to hate draft a Deep Root Wayfinder after round 1, but I will take the on-color card. I have enough self-control for that. Barely. Okay, and now we move on to deck building. Which once again should be tough. I have no idea about the main deck ability, that's a word now, of Pillage in this cube. So I guess we'll start it there. I will add Reshapers tentatively though. Well, I don't know. Let's add the Pillage too. You never know. Okay. So Foothills, you're not going to do anything for me, sadly. Last pick, Tolarian Academy. Oh, Storm the Vault. Yes, that's right. I guess that is on the other side of it. I never remember because I'm not a Storm the Vault believer, but doesn't mean it can't be done. Just adding random cards. Got Brea's, Ogrehead. I love Ogrehead Helm. Crater Maker. I think we want Torch the Tower. I think we want Touch the Spirit Realm. I think we want Dig Site. Seraph. Probably want Bankbuster. And Sunfall. It's just like an over the top, like, what's better than a Quarantine Field? How about a Sunfall, right? Maybe, hopefully. Can maybe have like a vehicle in play that like survives the Sunfall or something, which could be cute. there's a lot of stuff that's still good in the sideboard, and I really don't know how I want to build this. Let's think about equipment count right now. So how many equipments do I already have in the deck? 1, 2, 3. Unless I'm missing one somewhere. So it looks like just 3 for the Paladin, which makes me think I probably don't want this guy. It's probably not worth warping my mana to try to draw a card, but I can add 1 equipment to the deck, which I guess is just not enough. Let's, whoops, stomach is going crazy apparently. Let's add Cathar Commando. Well, is Cathar Commando even better than Batterfist? These are actually, these are pretty close in this kind of deck, and Stone Coil is interesting too. I don't know about Converter in the main deck. We might not want to be that grindy. And then there's always a question of Welder. If you can ever put like a Stone Coil Serpent into your opponent's graveyard, then Goblin Welder is absolutely insane because it's just going to tap to blow up their artifacts. But I don't think that is something I need to think about when I'm still in deck building here. I kind of want to add like History of Benalia. It's just like a really solid 3-drop. How many artifact spells do I have for the Patchwork Automaton? I have 1, 2, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I might get there, but it's still a really bad top deck, which I don't love. Let's add Stone Coil. This can always be like a 4-drop or whatever. I'm still at 18, and the last deck felt like it wanted 16 lands, because when I played 17, I was sad, and I still at the desk, and yeah, I don't know, the mana situation was fine with the 16. Part of me wants to play Quarantine Field, even though it is on the expensive side. I don't hate that idea either. I think I can probably play both of these, and could think about that Quarantine Field. It's just kind of like a 4-mana O-ring for us probably, but like if we're playing 17 lands, then maybe we have some chances to cast it for 6. I think I cast Seraph for 6 or something like that in the last draft. Let's think about which lands we're playing here, by the way. We have to play these. I don't know if this card's any good. I've never played with this card. But I did have Glimmerlens in my last deck, and I like Glimmerlens. Pillage is kind of awkward, I think, in the main deck as a double red card. Might not make sense to have in the main. So if I'm going to add a couple cards, do I ever want a Welder in this deck? What does Welder do? Like if I have artifact tokens, then I think Welder's really strong. The previous deck I think was better at making artifact tokens though, because the previous deck had Magda and it had the 2/3 Menace. Could play Currency Converter, but I don't know, it feels really slow. Maybe if I am going to play 17 lands, let's see. Does trigger before a gut token comes into play? Let's see what it says. So only if you attacked with 2 or more creatures this turn. So interestingly, it has nothing to do with the gut token because you don't declare the gut token as an attacker. So it's all about how many creatures you declare as an attacker. And you can activate it after, like, let's say you attack with 2 things and then you sack to gut. You can still activate this like post combat or whatever because you still attacked with 2 creatures that turn. Essentially mills their artifact. Not really. Let's see. What do we want? I don't think we need the Welder in the main deck. That can be a sideboard plan, kind of like the Pillage probably. I will try the Converter, I guess. I am a little skeptical, but I do like the card a lot, so we can get more reps with it. And then maybe just play like, could play like another 3-mana card, or I could play like Legion's Landing. I think History is good though, just like making multiple game objects. It's another nice thing with Gut. This could be totally wrong. We could want Angel of Invention. We could want the 1/1 that cantrips, but I don't know. I think this mostly makes sense. I've spent long enough on deck building. We can just go ahead. And playing 17 lands, being a little bit short on mana fixing is reasonable as well. So we're significantly heavier white. We not only have more white cards, but we have no double red, except for Sword of Rabbit Battery. And we have like 3 double white. So that's good to keep in mind. So we might actually want to be even here as we add lands, like even on plains and mountains. This thing wants us to do that. So I think we want to pretty much do this. We could do it the other way. How many white sources is this? This is a lot. It's like 11 or something. And then red sources, we're still at 9. That feels really good, I think, for both. So we should be fine. I love the mana of this cube. Never going to get tired of being able to cast my spells. Here's the previous deck. It was really good. We couldn't answer things with like 5+ toughness very easily because we had like Galvanic Blast and Fire Blast as our removal that can clear the most stuff. But I still really liked the deck. I don't know. I'm always going to enjoy Boros artifacts. So we get to play first. This hand's a keep. The double tap land lifestyle is not ideal, but overall, still a totally good hand. I think I want to lead on the dual land and just pass. And then we're going to go Bank Buster into Dig Site, and we get to attack for 4 on turn 3, which is nice. Do I want to fetch red mana with the Arid Mesa? Probably. I don't know. I have 2 white sources in hand. Opponent has an elf. I don't think I'm allowed to kill that for a couple of reasons. Blade Splicer. Would I rather play that turn 3? I don't know if it matters. I think I do need to fetch Mountain for this. It could be useful for activating the Bivouac later. I guess that's the other instance of double red in addition to the Rabbit Battery that I'd forgotten about. And then turn 3 we're looking at one of our white 3-drops. Turn 4 we can play a tap land and play the other one. We don't have anything legendary, but that's okay. We don't get punished super hard for taking a turn off. Igonjo entering untapped is enormous in this spot. Opponent is in the tank, and by that I mean probably doesn't say they're double queued, so they're probably AFK. Yeah, white on Paladin. It's funny because it's like a very powerful card and it has a high ceiling. It's good in like some of Matt's cubes. I don't think it's in my artifact cube currently, but I mean it could be. And it's weird how like few cards nowadays are double pipped. Like how few good 2-drops are. Like off the top of my head, it's like Dothy Voidwalker, and that's like it. Yeah. Okay, Mountain. After this draft, I'm probably going to have to go grab some food. I think my stomach is not being very subtle about that. Okay, green-white. Don't love that for me. And they have Lotus Cobra. They get an Evolve. Okay. So now I'm sort of incentivized to play the Blade Splicer. Oh, interesting. I could play History, but I think I want to wait on that. Yeah, I think it's Blade Splicer, and the reason I think it's Blade Splicer is because it leaves a 1/1 back to block the Lotus Cobra, so just kind of gain some life passively here. So play your land, go for the Splicer. We also have no artifacts in sight for the Dig Site, if you'll excuse the pun there. Go ahead and attack. I'm not going to win this game by trying to block, at least not at this stage of the game. And we'll see what happens next turn. Looking at potentially History Crew with the 1/1 and the 2/2 attack for 7, but we'll see what the opponent's up to. Rosie. Okay, do they just... They should put a counter on the Cobra because then they can hit me for a bunch of damage. Yeah, okay, we're racing. We're off to the races. Okay, seems right to me. Sunfall, eh? Well, don't mind if I do. We're pretty far off from casting that, but like if something goes wrong where they have an evasive card I can't answer or whatever, I think it's fine. Do I want to leave any blockers back is the question. It's like reasonable either way. I could leave back the first striker, and then they probably don't have any attack unless they have a removal spell. So I think that feels pretty safe. It's also pretty passive, but I don't hate that in this spot. They may grow fast. Yeah, that's true. I have to reread Rosie whenever you create a token. So yeah, if they can create multiple tokens, I might be in trouble. But I think 3/3 first strike blocker versus their board just seems like super solid. So I think I can go ahead and play this history, start developing our board presence. Crew. Yeah, Rosie can go nuts. I would believe it, but hopefully we don't get punished for this. Big ol' attack for 4. See if they have a removal spell. This is bad. Fetch land is a problem. So now they can have a lot. Yeah. Cobra into fetch land is going to be ugly for us here. I mean, they still need an interactive card. The fact that they're getting deeper into black makes me think it's more likely they'll be able to interact. 6 mana. Uh-oh. Ah, Sun Titan. Okay, well, they still can't attack this turn, right? Because they get to evolve, but they don't actually get, whatever you call it, a token. Oh, but they get the landfall. That's so sick. Well, I'm glad I have Sunfall in my deck. Might end up mattering a lot. But we also have 3 damage with first strike here, plus the 3 damage with the Fire Prophecy, so we might be able to kill the Titan in a way the opponent doesn't expect. Okay, or we just find the land. So now I have to think about how I want to use my board. The one thing I can't do, I can't use a Knight token plus Fire Prophecy to kill the Sun Titan, but it's just so good for me if the opponent blocks, I think, either the Bankbuster or the Golem with the Sun Titan. Definitely feels better if they block the Golem. I don't think it's particularly likely that they would do that, but I think it probably is worth 2 for 1ing myself to get the Sun Titan off the board. Like, that guy is just a big problem. I don't think I'm supposed to alpha or anything like that. This is a weird spot. I think I just need to try to kill Sun Titan, and I don't want to spend Sunfall is the other thing. Like, I think my board is in a good enough spot where it doesn't make sense to do that, but I also don't think it makes sense to rummage away Sunfall. What if I just make an 8/8? I could just make an 8/8 and just hit them for 4. Is that just the best option? Or wait, oh no, but this doesn't transform automatically, so I don't get damage right away. I don't think it's ever best to do that first, because they might just take a bunch of damage here, right? Yeah. I don't know. I think it's okay to wait. Let's just crew a random guy in the 1/1 and go for the attack. I mean, we are basically going to 2 for 1 ourselves here. That's the plan, at least, but we should be in good shape on board after this happens. Yeah. Very suspicious attack. The opponent should at least have some idea of what's going on here. Oh, they go for this block. Yes, 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 please, opponent. Okay, well, I don't really care about I mean, this guy's a 4/4. If they have like a fetch land specifically, the Cobra is going to be a problem. Also, first strike damage plus this means that, yeah, I guess, do I just kill the 4/4? I guess I do. Because I don't want to be chump attacking next turn, is kind of the thing. Because, like, when the Sun Titan dies here, they get another counter. But I guess it's really easy for them to get another counter. You know what? I'm going to change my mind. Let's kill the Cobra. Okay. I probably could rummage away the Sunfall, but I am a coward, so I will not do that. Let's kill this Sun Titan and not even lose our 3/3. And let's play the Dig Site. And that was a very good outcome for us. That's one of the reasons we attack, right? Because sometimes the opponent's just going to let us kill their Sun Titan without losing our creature and trade the other one. It's not what I expected to happen, but sometimes it happens, right? So, yeah. Okay, they have the Green Warden, and they have... Okay, so do they die? They might die. I can't blow up a blocker with Cathar Commando. I can fire up the Bivouac. It's not a Knight somehow, right? No, it's an Ox. Okay, sure. Sure, so they have 3 blockers. So they can block, like, 4/4/3, whatever. Yeah, we're not even close to killing them, unfortunately. So is now the time to go for the Sunfall? It might be. It's awkward because, like, this stuff really does matter and mess me up here. What could I do otherwise? I could just, like, attack, draw a card. I think it's just Sunfall time, though. But then, do I want to get some damage through, or do I want to make a bigger token? You wouldn't cast Sunfall? How do we get through a 5/5 and a 5/7? I don't understand how we get through either of those. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's weird, right? But, like, somehow we have to try to kill them. We don't have any evasion or anything. So let's see what happens if we alpha. So if we alpha, we can maybe deal like 3 damage. Is the damage more relevant than a big token? I'm just going to make the big token, whatever. This is the lower variance play. Yeah, maybe waiting is just better. I don't know. I think we can just afford to make a big guy, though. Make a big guy. We have a thing that can become an 8/8. We have a Cathar Commando. We have a Bivouac. We get to attack first. It is a very big guy. What does this do? I don't actually know what that did. Oh, they got Sun Titan back. Yuck. Okay. Well, we can blow up this. Do I have to blow this up? I guess I do. Stupid Sun Titan. It's going to be a problem. Yeah, I don't actually know if I can beat the second Sun Titan here. On the previous board, if we draw an artifact, we can start making large creatures. That's probably true. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the fact that they got Sun Titan back here specifically doesn't feel great. I guess I can't really attack here because they're just going to get something back anyway. So let's just go for the... this is not feeling amazing. Let's just go for the Brea's Apprentice, I think. And we can just try to peck them to death with the 1/1. Basically, Sun Titan means we can't kill them by attacking on the ground. Like, we now have to hold back the 8/8 as a blocker, I think. We might end up chumping with our, or chump attacking with our Bivouac to grow the Thopter and like sacking the, yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I guess Sun Titan, like, the fact that we can still pressure them is nice, but it's definitely weird. They already have Sun Titan in hand. Yeah, okay. They got it back with this guy. Now they have a bunch of lands. It's fine. Oh no, you're good. So, yeah, 1/1 flyer, do your worst. Maybe it's gonna cross the finish line. I still think the Sunfall made sense, but this was definitely a punish. Land. I had a way to rummage before, but I don't have one anymore. Oh, you know what I could do here? I could attack with both, and then use that to fire up the trench, sack this, kill that. I don't know if that actually made any sense to anyone. Let me check how much mana all of that is. So this is effectively 3 mana, right? Because it's 1. I don't think I actually have mana for that, because this is 3, then it's 1. Oh, but no, I might actually, right? So I can attack with both, kill the Dryad, draw a card, and then I still have mana for the 8/8, I think. Yeah, okay. Just have to like triple check my math. No big deal. Probably shouldn't have played land pre-combat, for the record. Not sure what the punish is exactly, but I bet you there is one. This and this. Attackers. We can make the opponent sweat a little bit. No reason not to. Find an arid mesa, whatever. Yeah. All right, and so now we have the incubator on blocks or whatever. And yeah, I guess this was a punish for my line, right? Because if I didn't play land pre-combat, then I would have been able to fetch right away and thin, which seems like it matters in a spot like this. Speaking of, the opponent's going to start getting a little deeper into their deck over there. If they find an answer to the incubator token, I am in rough shape. But we'll see. They do, I don't know. I mean, see what they have. Okay. I think I have to flip this. Funny thing is, now there's an argument for, ooh, wow, that was so good. That was so good. Wow. I think I just do this now. I guess I can fetch first. Well, we didn't get punished for sequencing our lands incorrectly last turn, which is nice. Now we grab a plains. We're going to go staff, immediately draw. It's so good. Wow. Okay, well, we gotta go for it here. If they have something to blow up the touch the spirit realm at instant speed, then I get absolutely annihilated. But the other side of the coin is like they didn't blow up. Yeah, they didn't blow up the token. So we can just swing with the 8/8. I mean, even if they have something here, it can only be so bad for me, right? Anyway, so this now forces a jump. Now the opponent needs Sunfall of their own, which they could have. Yeah, I mean, if they have Sunfall of their own, like, we get a card off our Brea's Apprentice, we still have the creature land, we have this, which can potentially give me some value. The worst would be if they have a way to, like, if they had a Farewell, like exactly Farewell, that would be a disaster, because then they get rid of this and this, they get their Sun Titan back. Let's see what they have. Myria Angel, that is good. They probably have a land in hand. They do. It's not a fetch. So it's another chump on the Phyrexian. We get to offer a trade with the Myria Angel thanks to the +2/+0, though I do have to read it. This target creature gets +2/+0. Very nice. Well, what do I want to do? If I offer that trade, then I'm sacking the Brea's Apprentice. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I get to fire up the creature land and attack with that as well. It's not ideal, but it does get some damage through. I don't know, it's pretty close. Oh, I guess we get to draw a card once again. I need to remember my cards when I can draw them. Okay. White, red. Let's just send in the clowns. Should be fine. This one. Let's draw our card now. This has to put a counter on itself in this spot. Possibly should have played a land if I'm trying to find like a 1-mana interactive card. Okay, Stonecoil, whatever. Play the old Stonecoil for 1. If they block the Spirit, I can maybe sack the Thopter. Yeah, so this is why blocking the Thopter is better, because now I get to keep the Brea's Apprentice. I don't know if the opponent was thinking about that. So we get to, we don't get to threaten lethal here. We're actually 1 damage off lethal, which I don't know if that matters a lot or not, but I'll just say I don't really care. And then we'll just play our land and pass the turn. Yeah, I could have sacked Staff, that's right. I just didn't want to, though, just continuing to think about a Wrath. I don't know. It seems like this should be good enough. Yeah, okay, nice. I like this deck a lot. I think this deck is good. Okay, so what did the opponent have? Basically, they had Sun Titan, and I already have Quarantine Field and Sunfall in my deck to try to hopefully answer Sun Titan. So those are good. I'm glad those are already in my deck. Anything I want to change? They didn't have... Gotcha, yeah. I think I just want to run it back. I don't hate Angel of Invention here. It could be correct. Part of me thinks like Angel of Invention over Stonecoil Serpent. Speaking of anthems, by the way, Holden, Angel of Invention is an anthem. It's also just a powerful magic card. That game was a little slower and more mid-rangey. But Stonecoil is a 6-mana way to block Sun Titan. And that could matter a lot too. I think I'm going to cut Batterfist as just like one of the least exciting artifacts or whatever, and just try the Angel of Invention, which is just Army in a Can, classic Captain of the Watch style card. Also makes tokens, which there's some value associated with that. Okay, this hand is a keep. We want to start by fetching Mountain, I think. So again, just to try to thin. We do have Staff of the Storyteller. We can cast that on turn 4 and make some nonsense. So I like that quite a bit for me. We're just going to pass here. Fetch a Mountain, grab the, and then play a Plains, play the Cratermaker, go Dig Site into Staff plus a trigger. That's the plan, at least. We'll see if we stick to it. If they play something I need to kill here, like a Lotus Cobra, then I'm just going to snap off the Fire Prophecy. We can't let them have a Lotus Cobra in play. Emergent Sequence. That's good too. Do I want to just kill their thing? Oh, it's a 3/3 as well. Yeah, I guess I probably do. Yeah, I hope so, Mikey. We'll see. Okay, yeah, let's grab the Mountain. F6. There's the Rabbit Battery. Also a very nice one with the Dig Site. Yeah, let's just kill their land. Let's just get that sucker out of there, and then hopefully the opponent will be afraid because... Well, actually, do we want to rummage the Cratermaker away? It's a little strange, but I think we do. I think the Cratermaker only gets less relevant, and we already have... Like, we have the perfect number of lands. We want to find our big boom boom answers. We need to be able to beat Sun Titan. Basically. Yeah. Okay, goodbye Cratermaker. Playing a very reactive, kind of strange game here, but I don't think it's crazy or anything, which is good. And then see what the opponent's up to this turn. They've got Dryad. Let's see if they have land drops. Oh, they don't. Interesting. And now we have Bankbuster plus Dig Site, which is probably just better than Staff. We'll play Plains, I guess. I don't think this matters. And then we get to start popping off with this Dig Site, which is going to be exciting. Oh, the opponent is really choked on lands here. They didn't play a land last turn. They didn't find a land. Well, actually, they could have found a land. They would sequence things the same way. But this should be really good for us if they don't Staff first. Make some more counters. Does that work? I thought it was only with a token. Or oh no, but you're talking about the Dig Site token. Does that matter? Or would I rather... I think I would rather start attacking for 4 first. I also have a blocker this way. I see what you're saying, but I don't think it's necessary. Oh. Bankbuster next turn. Yeah, I think I know what you're saying. I think I want a Bankbuster this turn. We're just going to fetch planes with this. We already have a bunch of lands here. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're in more trouble board-wise than... Like, we can always just draw a card with Bankbuster too, right? Like, I don't know. Yeah, so grab a planes. Yeah, I mean, if... Like, Dig Site is just pretty nutty, right? That was something that some people call as a power outlier that I kind of missed, which is funny because I've played with the card in like artifact themed cubes before, and it is like very powerful. So it's weird that I missed it, but I don't know. I don't know if I just thought it was like not as powerful as it seems like it is here or what exactly, but yeah, now we have a 4/4 blocker. Next turn we can attack for 4 if we want to. We can play Staff and draw a card next turn, which is kind of sick. Okay, they find a land, which effectively is untapped because of the Lotus Cobra. So now we get to find out if they have a 4-drop. They easily could. They make a black mana. This isn't a May anymore. Or they could just have a 3-drop. Okay, they do this. I think this is fine. I don't know if they're sacking anything here. I guess I would want to crew end of turn technically, but I am not gonna. I don't care if they sack something, then I'll just sack my construct or whatever. Okay, they didn't sack. Okay, torch the tower now. Very interesting. So this makes it tougher to know whether I want to leave up red mana or white mana this turn. I'm gonna play land regardless. So I could kill the Lotus Cobra. Like, if the opponent has land off the top into, like, Sun Titan, then I'm going to be really glad the Lotus Cobra is gone. Otherwise, I could just, like, kill the Braids if I wanted to. Excuse me, if I wanted to. I think it just makes a lot of sense to kill the Lotus Cobra, though. I just don't want to deal with that guy. Now we're going to staff, make a thing. Our things are going to get really big. And make a thing. Okay. And I think we just get to, like, I could go crazy here. I could crew and attack for 8, which might not even be nuts. And I still have a big guy back on blocks. I don't really see why not. Let's just go for it. Let's apply some pressure here. Just try to get you. The one thing they can do here that's kind of annoying is they can put like 2 guys on this and then 1 guy on this, and then this will shrink to 3/3 if this dies. So they can sort of trade their board here, but is it even good to do that? I don't even know. Okay, they're going for this. I don't think I care about Braids. I think Dryad is more likely to matter, but I'm still not exactly sure how. So let's kill the X4. I'm really taking my time, which is probably part of the reason I'm so hungry. Oh, it's also already after midnight. How did that happen? Okay, whatever. So I'm down to block with a construct. I don't really care. We could also take the damage potentially, depending on what happens here. But we're cutting the opponent off of resources, right? Like we got rid of the Lotus Cobra, so they can't have landfall stuff. We killed their land that they put into play with the emergent sequence. And we just have, you know, like 10 power on board. Rabbit Battery, which is just awesome here. We get to haste the construct that we're going to make. We get to put a counter on this. We get to, you know, do the thing, go nuts. The opponent needs Shatterstorm, kind of. Okay, well, Rosie. Okay, sure. So they get to make a 4/4, which is fine. We could double block if we wanted to. I don't think we need to double block. Yeah, the opponent doesn't even think they can attack, which is nice. They can sack the food. Let me read this. Lose 2 life. Okay, yeah. We'll give you a card. No, thank you. And we'll lose some life. Okay, let's make a thing. Brea's Apprentice. Interesting. So now we can Brea's Apprentice or we can Rabbit Battery. If we Brea's Apprentice, the tokens are going to be like 6/6s. We're going to put another counter on the thing. I don't know. It's starting to feel hard to lose no matter what. But I think we'll Brea's Apprentice. It's just nice and mana efficient. We can have a bunch of options next turn with the battery. Yeah, very glad chat told me to take the dig site. 6, 6, 1, go. So they can remove counters there. Yeah, this is all fine. Again, they need like a Wrath. But even if they have a Wrath, I have multiple counters on my staff. So they need a Wrath and to answer this, and I have Rabbit Battery. We should just be totally fine here. And then now we have whatever this is, like over 20 power on board. They're just going to be in Chumperoo land. Yeah, they removed counters here. So they have access to 5 mana this turn. So I think the best card they can have in the format is Sunfall at this point. And I think we're okay. Well, that one's annoying too, but I think we're okay versus that stuff. I don't think we're in great shape, but I do think we're minimally okay. All right, draw a card. Red. This one. Red. And yeah, that, I guess. No need to like unequip or whatever. This plays around second Wrath better. And we have extra card draws and stuff. I don't know. We should be fine. Okay, so now they can have the Sun Titan. Nope, they have a 1-drop. Well, that makes me feel nice and safe. They could have a 5 in hand. Song of the Dryads. Okay, that is totally fine. What happens with the Rabbit Battery? Okay, it just falls off. That makes sense. Okay, but we still just get to keep drawing cards. We get to attack for 2 on the ground. Opponent probably should have started by cracking Peatland there. The quarantine field with no targets is kind of funny. Yay, we drew a spell. Okay, so now this one. And a Stone Coil, why not? And how about this? And how about that? All right. Attack for 7. You can only prevent 1 damage here. So either way, you go to 1. So that block makes more sense given that. And they sack that land, which makes sense. And they're at 1, and we have a huge board. And this deck feels very good. The previous deck was also quite good, I think, but I think this deck just has Gut, Dig Site, Sunfall, basically all as like power outliers that we were missing before. So I really like that for our chances. The plan with this hand is to cast Stone Coil on 3. We're going to keep the hand. The part I don't know yet is what we want to do with the tap land. I think we don't really need Currency Converter out on the board early, and there's a decent chance that it might actually be better later if we find the dig site anyway. So I think we want to lead on. Well, it's awkward because if they have a 2-drop we want to kill, then but I guess we couldn't do that anyway if we were casting the converter. Let's just play the tap land, and then next turn we'll play the staff. Then we'll plan on playing Stone Coil. Brainstorm. Okay. Okay. All right. There's the staff. and we will pass the turn. Opponent didn't add anything to the board, which makes my choices nice and easy. And if we flood out, we can always just rummage with the converter, which is great. And we can just draw cards even before we have to worry about that. Tireless Tracker. Okay, well, oh, but they played Tracker and they didn't go for a land, which is awesome for me. So we get to start by drawing a card. Fire Prophecy, no reason to use that. Immediate Torch, well, gotta draw a card first, but yes, pretty much immediate. I think at this point it's probably fine to play Plains Converter. This doesn't discard, or we could have had kind of a cute synergy there, but I really like my spot. Like, we have multiple non-creature card advantage engines. We have one interactive card, one threat coming down this turn. See what the opponent's up to here. I don't really know what they can have. Yeah, we do want to fetch, I think. We already have way more lands than we need. Well, I mean, the opponent probably just has like some kind of counterspell, right? But I'm not going to play my Stonecoil Serpent into it. I also don't know the format well enough to know what I would be playing around. Mountain, I guess. I don't know. We do need to find some action eventually. Oh, did I mess up with my converter? Oh. Or wait, oh no, it's exiled. What am I talking about? For a second I thought I missed activating converter, and then I was like, what the heck? Like, that's not how this works. There's nothing exiled with this. Have to read my cards every now and then. Okay, Cycle Angel of the Ruins. That's terrifying, actually. If the opponent can reanimate that, I'm gonna lose. I'll just say it. I have some answers, but like, this card is like one of the most powerful things you could do against a deck like mine. Like, how about a 5/7 flyer? Exile your Stonecoil, exile like whichever one of these. If they can reanimate that, okay, Baleful Strix. Whew. And we have pro multicolored on the Stonecoil. You love to see it. Interestingly, we are somewhat incentivized to rummage away spells here, because then if we put the 2/2 into play, the staff can draw a card, but it would have to be a really bad spell. In Too Deep. Well, sack that draw card, I guess. Let's see what happens here. Well, there's the Crater Maker. Crater Maker does not answer the Angel of the Ruins. What do I want to do here? The Spirit Token can trade for the Strix, that's fine. I guess let's start by drawing a card with the Serpent. I don't think... well, I could find something to blow up the In Too Deep. I think Commando is like the main card I would be looking for if I did that. I'm drawing pretty thin if I'm trying to do that, I think. So I think I can just sack the sucker and draw my card. Start by looting. I guess I do have a bunch of lands I don't need. So in that sense, I agree. Yeah, and yeah, no, you're actually, I think you're right. I think looting actually is better here. Glad you mentioned that too, because I was about to like not do that, yeah. Okay, Ogre Head Helm. We don't need all these mountains. I don't know. I mean, we're not going to need all of these anyway, but whatever. Yes. And then, what do I want to do? I guess I just play Crater Maker pass. Yeah. Yeah, I think, like, the other thing to think about is I get to start using the converter next turn. Which I do think is, like, at least pretty appealing. Because, like, next turn I can still draw a card and make a treasure token, for instance. See what they do here. The opponent's going to play, like, a really slow game. I guess I'm playing pretty slowly clockwise. Ooh, Batter Fist. So that makes a thing that draws a card. So I guess I'm supposed to do that first. So yeah, let's start with that. And we could potentially draw another card with the, whatever you call it, this thing by attacking 2 creatures. I don't know if we want to do that or not. Think about it. Yeah, being able to make treasures is good. I agree. Okay, draw a card. History. Well, red, white, card draw, tribal, exactly. I think I just go for history now. Like, the opponent can have a sweeper, and it does really hurt for me if they have it. Let's see what happens if we attack, though. If they take the damage, yeah. I want to draw a card, but I don't think I need to. I think I just need to add to the board. Try to pressure them a little bit more. I think we're still fine if they have a sweeper here. Just have a ton of value. And we get to put another counter on the staff, which I wasn't even thinking about. And obviously another counter next turn too. Some kind of X spell here or whatever end of turn. Okay, dig through time. That is great for me. Yeah, history draws 2 cards. Dig through time is awesome for me because now I don't have to worry about that Angel of the Ruins coming back from the graveyard. That guy is gone, never to be seen again. Yeah, being able to just draw endless cards with this deck is so far feeling very good. I don't love how little interaction I have right this second, but like the opponent still needs to do something pretty threatening for me to be in bad shape. Like, I don't think Massacre Worm is in this cube, but like Massacre Worm would be a disaster for me. That's a card that I really didn't appreciate the presence of in Magic 30 cube. Okay, what do they have here? Sunfall, that's totally fine. You get a 3/3. And we get to use our Fire Prophecy to kill that. Well, not so with the Brain Maggot, I guess. Sure. Oh, I almost forgot to put the treasure into play with the Currency Converter. Yeah, that is absolutely a deal. It's not amazing for me or anything, but like the fact that it's like they're playing a Wrath, they're playing a thing, and we still have just endless value. Like, okay, let's do this. Okay. I didn't actually know that it would, oh, Quarantine Field. Interesting, interesting. I think that's good. I kind of want to wait on that, though. Like, I'm not sure how I lose if I wait. Let's start by drawing a card. Pretty common thing for me to say at this point with this deck. Bivouac. Yeah, I think we're just going to play that guy. And I guess we could draw a card with the converter, or we could... I kind of want to draw with Stone Coil now. Is that crazy? Oh wait. I could Quarantine Field the Into Deep. Oh. That seems pretty good. Well, in that case, I definitely shouldn't sack Stone Coil. So now the question is... Yeah, exactly, Mikey. The question is, do I just want to hit them now with the 4/4? Or, and I can even put the treasure under it and cast it X as 3 and hit everything. Yeah. That feels really tempting. Well, they can have something here that destroys me for this, but let's just... I don't know. They didn't really do anything super threatening last turn. Let's just go for it. It's X2? What? Did I count wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Oh, it's Quarantine Field. Oh, yes, of course. Thank you. But then do I hit the Incubator or do I hit the Brain Maggot? Like, if I hit the Incubator, it's... Now I'm not sure. Now I'm wondering if I should have looted. Quarantine Field. Stupid card. All right, let's just cast this. let's, I don't know, let's hit the In Too Deep, and let's hit, I don't know if I care about the Incubator, but it's a much more balanced play to hit the Incubator, so we'll go for the balanced play instead of the highest upside play. Yeah, I was thinking about that, but yeah, it's tough because like the question becomes like, how do I lose, right? If they don't have a way to blow up the quarantine field, then I think I'm winning. But the thing that I like about this is now I get rid of something even if they kill the quarantine field. And like there's a lot of pressure on them to do that. Yeah, we can get the Fire Prophecy back later or whatever. Okay, they have a lay claim. I can't sack that or do anything, right? So no, it's just kind of really annoying for me, sure. Okay. Well, Steel Seraph is pretty sick. Let's start by drawing a card. Yeah. How did you know? What gave it away? And now we can just play the 5/4 if we want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Part of me wants to fire up this land. I think firing up the land might be good. Let's think about it. So if we spend 3 mana doing that, then we still have 3 mana for the Seraph. I think it is good. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. And I don't really care if they chump, so we'll just give lifelink. You get lifelink, congrats. Bivouac's gonna grow itself. Opponent's gonna chump, give me back the Fire Prophecy. Okay, I love that for me too. And just pass. Okay, another great turn. I love the turns with this deck. They're just very enjoyable. Okay, opponent has Wooburg. They're doing some nonsense. Okay, they play a 5/5. It's gonna draw some cards. That's okay, I think. Yeah. Because you're attacking me for 5 and you're drawing cards, but you also spent 6 mana and you're at 9. So there's a real cost to doing this. Cathar Commando. I wonder if we should blow up the Stone Coil or the Lay Claim, chat. What do we think? I think we will blow up, perhaps, the Lay Claim. And the opponent has a counterspell? They have literal counter? Oh, they have Mana Leak. Well, I can very easily pay for that. Does make things a bit worse for me, but, you know, whatever. Okay, so I can just play the Ogre Head. I can equip. They're not dying if I equip. Let's just make them have like another Wrath, shall we? Blow up Quarantine Field? I don't know if that's the line. I'm gonna guess it's not. Yeah, opponent's in rough shape. Fall down to 3 here. Okay. It's one of those spots where, like, if Fire Prophecy were 3 damage to any target or whatever, you know, that'd be nice. So they have to draw their cards. We don't have a double block, though we could have played so. Or, oh wait, no. Because this has menace, so we couldn't have even equipped here. But it would have protection. So I guess I could have given vigilance here. But anyway, whatever. Trying to draw into Sunfall. Yeah, they already... Wait. Oh, they actually do have just a crap ton of Wraths here. But they have to kill their own guy this time. Okay. Well, that's annoying, but the good news is we have a creature land, which still threatens lethal. They need multiple blockers or something with 4+ toughness to survive. That does have more than enough toughness, though. Opponent's not making it easy. Opponent is absolutely not making it easy. I mean, this is a 3/3. It's going to attack as a 4/4. We just equip the Batter Fist, and this is a forced trade. So that's not the worst, but the fact that the opponent's still in this game is very impressive. It makes me wonder how many bad lines I've taken. Okay. I think this is another start by drawing a card situation. Let me double count my mana, because I can do this, and then I can draw a card, and then I have 1, 2, 3. So I'm actually short. So that doesn't work. So I need to, it's not a super different play, but now I just play this. Fire this up. Three, and then we're gonna put it to 4. Ask you exactly how many Wraths you have in your deck, opponent. So they already played 1, 2, they played a Mind Control, like, I don't know, come on. Okay, draw 2, sure. I mean, it does use 4 of their mana, but we'll see what happens. We could be in bad shape here. It's possible for us to be in bad shape. Lone Crafter. Oh, that card is actually a huge problem. Holy crap. I don't know if we can beat this thing, but they only got 1 land. So they probably get the dragon, the 5/5. This might deck them, though. It's kind of interesting. But if they don't have a cheap blocker or interactive card here, they also just die to Bankbuster if we find a creature, which is the other thing. Oh, they get the Brain Maggot, and they know our last card. That's a nice play. All right, all right. Well, looks like this game probably would have been better for us if we quarantine fielded the Brain Maggot. Obviously, tons of hindsight there, but still. Okay, let's see what we find. Thraven Inspector, not bad at all. Let's start by playing that and drawing a card. Yeah, because this gives us outs to attack with the Bankbuster. I tapped incorrectly, whatever. Blade Splicer. Yeah, so this now lets us attack. And it lets us draw a card, because I managed to tap correctly without realizing it. Nice. Yeah, we just get to go for this attack. Opponent can either trade or, you know, whatever, but either way it's good for us. I don't think there's a reason to draw a card right now. Curious if they double block. Okay, they do double block. So we're getting the Fire Prophecy back. Well, whatever. Let's draw a card. So we might... Do we want to play land? I don't think so. I think land we can hold to Rummage, or even just get rid of with Fire Prophecy. Might just be better. So it was maybe just bad to do that at sorcery speed. I'm not sure. We can sort of create 2 lethal threats here. Okay, and they've had enough. That was quite the game. The opponent put up a big fight, and we're down like 4.5 minutes on clock. So what we could do next turn, we could put the whatever this is on the Thraven Inspector, then have a 2/1 and a 1/1 and a 3/3, and have multiple lethal threats plus a removal spell, so we're not super likely to lose from there. I mean, just drawing cards every turn as we add to the board, I guess, can beat 5-color sweepers plus mind control nonsense. So they had no answers to the quarantine field, which is good to know, but that might not be true after sideboard. Angel of Invention seems great here, because if their answers are like Wraths and stuff anyway, then a card like this that is multiple bodies seems really good. That said, the Batter Fist was really good for us too, but I think it's fine to cut the Batter Fist. We might want Legion's Landing here as a card that can make threats. Yeah, I do like Legion's Landing, because if we attack with 3 things and we flip the Legion's Landing, then we have a way of adding to the board that is resilient to Wraths, which I think is really important, or it could be at least. Yeah, I do think Batter Fist is like one of my weakest cards. And let's see, we only activated that, we only activated that currency converter like once, but I think it still would have been good, maybe. Pillage may be decent versus their mana base. Yeah, it's not unreasonable. I think if they had like Field of the Dead, or if they had like some really problematic artifacts, then I would like Pillage, but I think at the moment I would rather not run Pillage. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Gut can still lose to a sweeper, and they do have multiple, which is a big problem. I think I do want Currency Converter, even though their deck, like, I somehow just, like, never used it. Got the goat. Yeah, exactly. Let's leave the Angel on the board, maybe. It's a 5-mana threat, which isn't true of almost any of our threats. It's not good against Mind Control. Like, Mind Control the Angel is a big problem. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine to have a lower curve on the draw as well. This hand is a keep, but it's not good. That's true, but I guess I just wonder, like, does that mean if I would be using it, I'd be losing? We're going to keep this hand because we have 2-drop into multiple 3-drops and multiple chances to find land for turn 3, and there's a land. I guess we already gave them some info by not playing Mountain in turn 1, but whatever. Fully Blade Splicer over the Apprentice. Okay. Have to be mindful of the clock. Don't have a choice about that one. Never using the Ogre Head here. This is kind of a bear. Like, this thing's ability, like, none of these abilities matter for a while. But it's still nice to just have a bear against this deck, I think. And +2/+2 is more likely to matter against this opponent than draw 3 cards, I think. Also, the sacrifice it is, I've always found that kind of confusing on this. That 3/3 that buys stuff back from the graveyard, that card has impressed me a ton. I had no idea what to think of that card, because I'd never seen it before or seen it in play or anything. Wonder if they just have a mana leak here. I think they might, but I'm still fine to play Blade Splicer. I don't want to do this. No. Don't want to discard my hand. You have a mana leak. No, you don't. That's great. Sometimes you just get more damage this way. They could just have land Wrath, which would be good. So there is the 4-mana domain. Well, yeah, the Wrath that has domain or whatever is 4 mana. Whatever I'm trying to say. Okay, so they can make multiple clues and draw cards and whatever. Oh wow, Torch the Tower again. Just super sick every time, huh? Well, the one thing is we really do play into a Wrath by killing this. Yeah, I don't know. I just think Sunfall in general is like a really powerful catch-up tool, and I think it makes sense. I think this turn is actually equip the Head Helm after killing the Tireless Tracker. And I think we are going to try to get... Well, no, because that gives the opponent an opportunity to block, I guess. Yeah, Yeah, it is just really good, and it kills the Hellkite. It's like one of our only answers. That's like one of the problems with both of these cards. Like they don't, neither one really fits the deck, but they just like, they fill a hole. So I can't deny them a clue, sadly, here, so I just have to do this. And then the reason I want to equip rather than playing Brea's Apprentice, which is, of course, the more obvious play, is I just want to play around a Wrath, because if they have a Wrath, then it's just kind of ugly for me to play another thing. Like, this is a fairly resilient line. Yeah. No, still to this. And then next turn we can play Brea's Apprentice or whatever. Black. See if they have the drag to the bottom. Nope. Land. Okay. And they do have double white here, I think, with the 2 triomes, so they could have Sunfall as well. They could just have either. They do have the drag to the bottom. I feel really smart. That makes me happy. And they have a 1 mana removal for this, I guess, maybe? No? Okay. Well, we're just gonna play... Thanks. We're just gonna play more stuff. If they have Wrath number 2, then that sucks, but I'm not gonna play around... Well, I could... If they do this, then I can't afford to play around Wrath number 2. Interesting thing is Quarantine Field on their clues is not out of the question in the future. So basically we turned their Wrath into, like, it sort of traded for Blade Splicer, right? Their Wrath did, and then they just spent another 1 mana removal on the Ogrehead Helm, which is just so much better than like their Wrath trading for 3 of my threats. It's like night and day. Okay, well, Scuttle Tide definitely makes for a juicy Sunfall. Opponent's just cracking clues. Okay. Oh, and we draw the Currency Converter. Very interesting. So I guess we just start converting. Like, the opponent, they're at 3 card types. They can't do anything threatening. I guess they can, what can they do? They can double pitch cards here to make a crab and get their stuff up to like 1/4s or whatever. Let's just start by converting, I think. And we're probably pitching whatever we draw, but that's still fine. Yeah, their deck is definitely all about holding me off. Converter Apprentice. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, yeah, we don't need this land for anything. Sure. And we can just... What would I even want to do here? I just get to like chill out, right? Like I just attack with the... Well, we can make this play maybe, and then if they want to... Would they want to make a 1/4? I guess this doesn't work, right? Maybe the Apprentice attacks. I want to make them make a crab. The problem is if they just make 2 1/4s and they double block the Citizen, that's kind of sad for me, because then they just turned 2 of their cards into creatures and eat my guy. So I think this is a little bit better. Also lets me use this before the thing dies. I could see it being correct to just not even attack with the Breas, though. Yeah, sure enough, they do make a 1/4. Okay. And they make another one. Interesting. Okay, well now I think I'm pretty happy to just kill the Scuttle Tide. I don't really care. Like, if they just have a bunch of 0/3s, maybe I should have just killed it already. Maybe I shouldn't have let them untap. Elspeth Conquers Death. Okay, so that hits Brea's Apprentice. That is a punish for the line I've taken here for sure. Okay, the reanimation gets Thalia, I guess. Do I just blow up the ECD, or do I blow up the Scuttle Tide? Maybe I just blow up the ECD and then I cast a Sunfall. That seems kind of good. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. It's definitely a punish for attacking with the, whatever you call it though, the yeah, land. No, I don't feel great about this. Yeah, let's just start with the attack for 1, and then it's probably still fine to do this. It just feels pretty far from optimal, I guess. What were you saying? You think I should probably chill? I think I need to produce a threat here. I think attacking for 1 is not sufficient. So I'm going to Sunfall and make a 4/4, which conveniently attacks through the crab tokens. But this could be a mistake. Okay. Well, here comes... Oh, okay. That's not what I expected, but it is terrifying. My clock is really ticking down. I gotta watch that. Okay, so now we have some options. I can Quarantine Field, hit their Clue, which I think... Or I could just Quarantine Field, hit this, fire up the 4/4. I think it's just fine to fire up the 4/4. Yeah, I don't think I win this game by hitting their Clue. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe this is bad. Playing a little aggressively here. Hopefully it's not terrible to do that. I do really open myself up to... Well, I guess now I can kill them if I draw burn spells. Maybe. I don't really have burn spells in this deck, though. And I spent all of my interaction. Maybe I'm going to lose. Maybe that was really bad. But now, like, if I draw, like, Gut, I think I win the game on the spot. Maybe that's just usually true. Playing Hangry, yeah, it could be that. I don't know. I mean, I think it's okay to force them to have something. My clock is pretty low. You know, them going to 4 life is kind of a big deal. They don't know that I don't have burn. They have a Loam Crafter. Okay, whatever. So now they have a multi-block on the guy, but I can just equip my guy, and then they don't have a multi-block anymore. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, ECD. That doesn't actually do anything. ECD hits nothing right now. So that makes me happy. Okay. Oh, and this just kills them, yeah? Or I guess technically not, but like pretty much yes. So... do I do this? I think so. And then where do I equip? I don't know. Does it matter? That one? No, because they're going to exile that one. So I have to equip this one. I don't know. Whatever. Chump. Double chump, please. Then they have the Sunfall, apparently, because they're tapping too fast not to have it. And then I'm left with Rabbit Battery. Sure. I have to play faster. Oh, there's Gut. Nice. Okay. Well, you know what they say, where there's a gut, there's a way. Where there's a gut, there's a way. How about a 4-1 Menace guy? And yeah, might as well suit him up. That's what they say. And might as well sack the Converter Reno, I think. I don't know, whatever. Yay! Alright, got him. That took way too long. That was a really long match. I feel, yeah, thanks. I feel mostly good about how I played it. Thanks, guys. Alright, let's see if we can get second trophy here. It's really nice. It's a weird mono white hand, but that's fine. We can cast all our spells. Eiganjo is just a plains that doesn't have a basic land type, and that's fine. The one thing this hand's missing is, of course, a 2-drop, but that's where Thraben Inspector comes in. It's a nice way to use the mana on turn 2, crack that clue. Alright, keep, and just hope the opponent doesn't have basically mountain or forest. That's not ideal, but at least it's a tap land. Okay, Cathar Commando. Well, so much for not having a 2-drop, and now it's not even suspicious to pass the turn with 2 mana up with the clue and the Cathar Commando. Like, they might never see it coming here. They do have Treasure Map, which is very slow, which makes me happy. Could even say makes me mappy, but that probably shouldn't be allowed. That was a bad one, chat. I am getting angry. This is usually, this is where, like, in the channels where I'm a mod, I usually like to paste the message like, you cannot ban the broadcaster or something like that, which is the notification you get after typing like /ban and then the name of the streamer. Anyway. Yeah, so this hand is just nutted. We have aggressive 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop with Steel Seraph on top, just like a cherry on top, and Quarantine Field is interaction. We might even want to save it until we can play with X's 2. We're going to fly our commando here probably, unless something weird happens. And we don't even necessarily have to spend the Eiganjo. Everything is just perfect. Also, they let you customize your basics now in Magic Online, so we can all look at these stained glass lands that I can't buy in paper because they're like $1 each or whatever. And why would you buy basics that are $1 each when you're a broke grad school student? You wouldn't. That's the, the answer. Okay, so they could have removal here, which would make me sad. Oh, I talked about flying my Cathar Commando. Yeah, it is sick. You could do that before in some events, but also, yeah, I'm not going to be flying my Cathar Commando. Okay, Mountain, sure, why not? Give them a little more info for free, just for funsies. If the opponent has... I don't think there's a 4-mana sweeper in white, so I don't think we have to worry about a Wrath of God. Basically, they can have... Well, it's funny, because they can have... yeah, they can have, like, 1-for-1 removal on the Cathar Commando, and it looks really bad for them, because we can just sack and blow up the treasure map. But I think we would just let it resolve, because I don't care about the treasure map and the history. It's a big deal to cast history this turn, because we're going to make a 2-2, and we're going to make another 2-2, and then everybody's going to be big. Yeah, I love these stained glass basics. Anyone else in chat have any recommendations of like basics that are really awesome that I should consider now that you can add whichever basics you like to your limited decks? Okay, so they scryed on upkeep, so they're looking for something specific, whether it's land, removal spell. It's probably not anything other than land or removal spell. Okay, make another knight. So now we're in a spot where we probably don't want to add something to the board because we could get punished by a Wrath. We do have 4 cards in play, and they don't have any. So I think it might even be reasonable to blow up the treasure map, but let's maybe wait for them to scry, because we can blow up the treasure map in response. So let's start, as everyone should know at this point, by drawing a card. They're going to do a thing. They're going to punish me for drawing my card main phase, but that's fine. Nope, they're not going to do that. It felt like they were going to kill Cathar Commando, but then once they realized I had a land untapped, they like changed their mind. That's what that felt like to me. So we're just going to fetch now to avoid any of that nonsense. Even though we can't really spend our mana. Grab a mountain. Attack 4, 6. Oil Slick Phyrexian basics are a maybe, to know if Magic Online has them. I don't know the artist names, but I do know the Phyrexian ones you're talking about. Infinity Borderless. Ooh, I do love those, and I know what you're talking about. The Oil Slick ones are okay. They kind of remind me of the double feature ones, where it's like, ugh. I don't know if that's an acceptable thing to say about them, but it feels like they can look like too many different kinds of things. Okay, so let's see if they use the treasure map. Oh, they didn't use the treasure map. Bunch of Urza block basics. Nice. The Smasher was saying that reaction of disgust. You got me. Yeah, so they really do need the Sunfall here, by the way. And they probably have it. They have a Planar Outburst. It's pretty close. Blow up the map. Okay. Yeah, it is pretty sick. Okay. We are now in worse shape than we were before. We do get to cast a Fattled Stone Coil here, which is nice. Sorry for spelling. I forgive you. Yeah, let's play the old Colossipede here with the opponent at 8 life, and then we have Steel Seraph, and yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Inherited a big box of Urza block. Wow, nice. 12 plated spiders. Yeah, perfect. Don't kill it. I feel like it's dying. Okay. Well, I think this is good for me, but I'm not sure. Do I just like... Because if they kill the Quarantine Field, I really don't want to Quarantine Field that. I guess what I'm supposed to do, I can go for the Bizarre... Yeah, well, not as old as Giant Spider, but like pretty close, right? I can just Steel Seraph, give lifelink, and then if the opponent wants to triple block, that's fine. Flying is also not crazy. I don't think I'm allowed to use Igonjo here, and I don't think I'm allowed to use Quarantine Field. Why is it fine? Because this thing's going to be annoying for me. Well, I guess no. I do have the Steel Seraph. Yeah, okay. I thought that this was going to hit me and gain life no matter what, but I guess with the Steel Seraph back on blocks, yeah, no. I agree. I think it's better to do this. And just fly it in there. Classic Flying Reach combo. Okay. This deck would really benefit from some burn. Trample is also gaining, that's true, for sure. Yeah, I guess the opponent, they do just die, right? Because even if they kill this attack, gain 2 life, yeah, exactly. Because now, unless they also kill this, oh, but they have the removal for it. Ah. Okay, well, that was not great. Yeah, that was unfortunate. But that's okay. So I can now Cratermaker, block, and shoot, which I think makes sense. I can hold Igonjo in hand. Yeah, I don't really see a better option than Cratermaker, block, shoot. Actually, wait, if I go Cratermaker, I can try to ambush this with the Igonjo and eat a Servo and be left with a 2/2, which seems even better. So I like that. So let's go Cratermaker. Currency converter that we have no intention of using, and we're going to go for the blowout arenas. I don't think there's any kind of blink or anything they can have to mess me up here, so this should just be good. And from the opponent's perspective, it looks like a free attack all. Yeah, it is just a bait. Yeah, nice, very nice. So we now finally use our Igonjo to do something. Oh my god, and we get the combo. It wasn't just a bait, we get to make a treasure. It's sick, I didn't even think of that. Alright. Yes. We are going off. And now we're insulated versus any nonsense because we can... Yeah, so here's the thing. We can just sack this and kill the thing. Or do we even want to do that? I don't think I need to kill these. Like, these are just 1/1s. I think we're kind of chilling now. Right? I don't think we need to kill the 1/1s with our shock. Yeah. Because it doesn't lose abilities. That's the big thing. And now we can quarantine field, hit the two hit the 2 tokens. Or we can quarantine field, hit the swift reconfiguration, which is probably just way better. Very similar to the previous match. If we do that. Mindstone, yeah, we can't kill that. So, and a Guardian Idol. Do I want to hit that? Maybe. Okay, let's do this. Make a thing. Go. Dig site. Okay, well, we're digging, chat. We are digging. I don't think... Do I just want to use the converter first? It seems really hard to think of something that's better here than my cards in hand, but let's still use the converter first because I think it's the right play. If we find like God, but I guess that doesn't work. Yeah, land off the top. Thrilled to get that out of the way. Sure. Probably shouldn't have auto-yielded. I don't know. Whatever. Go. We have a 3/3. Go. Okay, crack the Mind Stone. Makes sense. Yeah. That should be good, right? Like, if we just draw any artifact ever, we should just be absolutely crushing. Green mana. Plot thickens. Okay, it's just a clue crack. Never mind. And they don't actually have a multi-block now with the Crater Maker just hanging out. Yeah, this thing is an onboard trick. Feels kind of sick. I am not a believer in the Reckless Fireweaver. Nice kind of pseudo-alliteration there. They do have a multi-block that would be annoying. Oh, Ingenious Smith. That has to be insane, right? This has to be very, very good. So we're just going to find an artifact, and then we're going to... It's going to be cheap, and then we're going to do the thing. Or even if it's not cheap, we can still do the thing because we have a treasure. Yeah, let's take Brea's Apprentice. I guess I should even make another treasure. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a treasure on the opponent's like upkeep or something for my Ingenious Smith. There we go, chat. We found the line. Boom. All right. Anything I want to do here? I don't think so. Yeah, no reason to attack. Yeah, the whole thought was like, you know, this way I have like the Crater Maker, I got the Smith trigger, like, you know, we're doing it all. We're doing it all. Yeah. Glasspool Mimic, it's another thing they control, so it's either another Fireweaver or, yeah, another Thraben. I don't care at the moment. Actually, another Fireweaver might be scarier. Let me just crack a clue. Yep. We can sack the Crater Maker to the Brea's Apprentice. Huh. Is there anything I can do about this? Probably not so much, huh? Well, I guess that's gotta go. And they just scoop. Well, I like that for me. Well, I like that. I like how this is looking. It's looking like it's going to be a trophy eventually, and then maybe one more draft before going to sleep. We'll see. Oh, thanks, Airmath. I appreciate that. So do we want the pillage here? Did the opponent show me any scary artifacts? I think they showed me Angel of Invention as like, don't jinx it. No, it's okay, Holden. Once you draft like a million times, you're allowed to call trophies and then be wrong sometimes, maybe. I don't know. That's probably not true. You're probably not allowed to do that. I wonder if I should have been running Welder before. I'm going to say no. Let's run it back. I have no idea. Should maybe swap something. I love Staff of the Storyteller. That card's awesome. And this hand is a keep. Pretty good hand too. On the draw. Get rid of this upkeep stop. If I clicked yield until here, we could actually just lose the game on turn 1, which would not be ideal. And if we find a land, we could have the 1/2/3 gut. Opponent absolutely gutted if we could do that. Well, if we don't find the land, then we can actually lose the game quite easily, unfortunately. But I guess what I'm supposed to do here is just play Bankbuster. Yeah. So let's attack for 1. And then the Batter Fist crews the Bankbuster. Gut plus Thraben can crew the Bankbuster. Like, there should be some bank busting going on next turn regardless. And if we find the land, then we did it. The opponent's doing this. They have blue mana in their deck now. Okay. What was their wrath? They had Planar Outburst or whatever? Yes, we have the gut. We did it, chat. Let's go. We're busting indeed. Okay. So this is the dream. This is what we came here to do. If they kill the Bankbuster right here, I'm going to be sad. But if that doesn't happen exactly, then I'm going to be quite happy. Oh yeah, we got him. Hit you for 8. Gut is a fair Magic card, chat. Yeah, skeleton time. Get out the skeleton emote. You love to see it. Opponent, sorry, I love Oskier as much as the next person, but how do you beat the gut? It's just so yucky. How does anyone ever beat the gut? Because now we get to go like Arid Mesa, Plains, I don't know, like, isn't this just, haven't they had enough? Seraph, I don't even care if they have a Wrath. I don't think, right? I don't even know if they can live. Well, I guess in that case, if I don't know if they can live, I should probably not play the Seraph. Let's play the History. And then we'll crew here. And then this is so stupid. This card's so utterly broken. It's everything I wanted and more. Give him the bones. Yeah, I'll try. Alright, opponent, take 8. And if you have a Wrath, we still have way more board presence. How do you ever beat this? Nice Wrath. I know you have a Wrath here, but yeah. Alright, that was yucky. They've been gutted. Was that a 3060? That took like 2 hours or something, but that was still a 3060. Which is just perfect. You love to see it.